What's up, everyone? 2023 is coming to an end, and it's been a big year for collecting, so I thought it'd be fun to do like a top 10 or some of the best figures of 2023. With that being said, I think it'd be pretty difficult to say this is the #1 figure of the year, hands down, so I'd like to structure this video as these have been some of the best throughout the entire year. Also, a quick disclaimer before we get started. As you know, I'm a big collector of many things. I mean, I grew up in the 90s and I've been collecting pretty much ever since then. But there's a lot of franchises out there that are very popular to a lot of other folks that maybe didn't always resonate with me. So within this video, you're not going to see a whole lot of Marvel Legends, Turtles, Dragon Ball Z, or Power Rangers. And there's nothing wrong with those franchises. I respect them all and I appreciate all the fans that are invested into them, but it's just something that wasn't really saturated around my childhood growing up. So with that, let's get started. Before we jump right into this, I think it's important to do a few honorable mentions. Toys that were released this year, but didn't quite make the list for specific reasons, but are great nonetheless. The first one being the Xbox 360 buildable console from Mega Constructs. This is a Target exclusive. It retails for $149. Now, the reason why it didn't make the list is I'm going to focus more on like articulated figures, whereas this is more of a build. This piece hits many points, one of them being that nostalgic factor, no pun intended. So for example, if you grew up in the 90s and you had your teenage years or even just your early childhood and you hit 2007 when Halo 3 was launched on the Xbox 360, there was nothing like this. I mean, for example, they designed this console around Halo 3 the game. That's how iconic and important Halo 3 was to the Xbox 360. So this makes the list, but kind of like a bench warmer in a sense. There was a lot of fun elements to this piece. I did a full unboxing, build, and review on my channel, so if this is the first time you're seeing it, definitely give it a watch. It's a lot of fun. The next honorable mention would be Boba Fett's Throne Room, and the reason why this is not on the list, although it is really amazing, it's just more of a set itself. It comes with one figure and that's Bib Fortuna. There's really a lot going on with this set and that's what makes it so great. It is a little bit pricier. It is, I think, $220 something, and it is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, so you can only get it from their website. The best parts to this is obviously going to be the throne room itself, but all these like little accessory pieces. That is what really ties everything in together. I mean, these little rugs, you can place them anywhere you want. Like the Xbox 360, I did review this on the channel, so if you want to get more information about it, be sure to check out that video. Our third and final honorable mention is going to be the Anniversary Red Rex. This was a Target exclusive. It retailed for like $49, which was a little bit pricier in my opinion. However, they did like a crazy amount of deals, so this thing hit discounts like many times throughout the year. I think I got this half off. I think right like within the first week that it hit stores, it already went like half off. I don't know if it was like a bug in the system or something, but they were $25, and if you were able to get at that price, it was an absolute steal. What makes this Red Rex so special is not only does it honor the 93 Kenner Red Rex that we all grew up with, but it has a real feel kind of like technology to her body. There's an opening right here so you can put smaller dinosaurs in, and she even has sounds. In order for her to swallow those little dinosaurs, her mouth opens up pretty well, and you can see there's a considerable amount of space for those dinosaurs to fit in. Like I said earlier, she does have sounds, and they can be activated by pushing a little button here at the top of her hips. I did also review her on the channel, so if you want to take a closer look, be sure to check out that video. Let's start this off strong with number 10. We have our ATAT Walkers from Micro Galaxy Squadron. We have our HOTH version, and we also have the Endor version, which is an Amazon exclusive. Both of these retail for $59.99. What I love the most about these is how much detail they're able to add into these walkers. Both of them have immense amount of articulation. At each leg, there is 3 points of articulation, and you can manipulate them quite a bit. This HOTH version comes with 5 figures. It also comes with a snow speeder bike. Other standout features, it has lights and sounds, the crazy amount of articulation, and this hatch opens up with an immense amount of space. Oh, what is Darth Vader doing in there? It has a little tow cable or tow winch, and you can pick up or lower the speeder bike, and it's attached to like a little piece of string. It has two buttons to activate the lights and sound, so we have one on the left side of the vehicle, and then we have one at the top right here. So this will power it on. I realized I took the batteries out of the HOTH version to then put them in the Endor version to do that one's review. But this is what it sounds like.
Troops will debark for ground assault. Prepare to target the main generator.
It has the lights, it has the sounds. When you hold this on and off button right here, it will continue to do the walking sounds. Now, if you don't touch anything for about 30 seconds, then it does a power down sound. Aside from the awesome leg articulation this has, there's also some neck articulation, and this like little neck piece is a different type of material compared to the entire vessel. So it's like a soft rubber type of plastic, and that's pretty cool because that's pretty much how it looks in the film. Cockpit does open up, and you can see that there is two seats there. There's a place for General Veers to be standing or somebody else. Again, they put amazing detail to these, and that's a big highlight to this. It has amazing capacity for figures. We have 10 seats up here at the top. You can see there's some lights to the body. There's like some venting up there, and there's like some control panels and things like that. But this is what I mean when I say they add a lot of detail to small spaces. This particular set comes with 8 figures. We have Vader, Luke, a pilot, 4 stormtroopers, and a scout trooper. All in all, these are great, and I reviewed both of them on the channel. I will also post the links in the description below. At number 9, we have the N1 Starfighter from the Vintage Collection. I love this piece. As you can see, it displays so well. You can have it in a flight mode. You can also take it off and put it on stands, so it's more ground level. It retails for about $125, $130, and it is worth every penny. The Vintage Collection has been known to be a little bit pricier with some of their other vehicles, you know, like the Slave One was pretty pricey. So in comparison to that, this is a major deal. It does come with 2 figures, the first one being Mando on an unpunched card. So as you can see, I kept that sealed because this is the first time we're really getting Mando unpunched. And you know, when it comes to things like that, I like to save the card, especially when I open the box, the card was basically in mint condition. Our second figure is obviously Grogu, and he's holding that little ball. Now, for the Mando that I used, I have the HasLab Razor Crest, so I decided to just pop him in there. Since he does come with soft goods, I mean, it matched up pretty well. What's really cool about this piece is that there's features that make this pretty authentic. So, like this slidable cockpit here. Now, initially, when you open this up and you're trying to figure out how to put him in there, it's a pretty tight space. This entire piece will open up right here, and you can fit Mando in there a lot easier. A big bonus to this is the stand that it comes with. I mean, it's beautiful. It will display so well in your collection. And what's really cool about it is this main piece here is a ball joint to the bottom of the ship. So you can basically have it flying in all different directions. I mean, that is just an awesome touch. But it also comes with these transparent pieces that you can place to the bottom of it, and it will give you that hovering appearance, or that it's more at ground level. What's really cool is this bubble that's covering Grogu can be removed, and so once he's exposed, you can take him out. He has a peg at the bottom of his foot. Once he's in, he can actually be moved from side to side, so you can have him looking out different sides of the bubble. And he even has some head articulation as well, so this little cockpit area can be removed. Once you do that, it exposes on the inside. There's an extra attachment. You just line those pieces up right there. And this can be used for the head of R5. But overall, this is a very elegant piece. I mean, when we saw this debuted, when they salvaged it in the Book of Boba Fett, I mean, man, that just hit home. And so now to be able to have this is just so cool. So if you are a Star Wars fan, Vintage Collection fan, or just a Mando fan in general, then I think this is a must-have to your collection. Next on our list is Spartan Bellos. This is Series 8 of the Spartan Collection. It can be found at GameStop stores retailing for $21.99. What I love the most about this figure is not only is it highly articulated, but it is a very unique looking Spartan. I mean, out of all the armors throughout the entire Halo universe, this one is special. It can be obtained through the Master Chief Collection via Halo 3 or Halo Reach. And I mean, the overall appearance of the Spartan is just so beautifully elegant. I think I called it beautifully aggressive or something like that in my review video. What really ties this Spartan together is not only this AR, but that mirrored visor. That is something that they've been implementing within the Spartan collection since day one. And the only other brand to do that was Joyride, the inception of Halo figures. A really cool feature to the Spartan collection figures is you could take their accessories or their other weapons and you can place them on the back of their Spartan armor. So for him, you could take his spear and shield and you can place them both on the back of his armor just like so. For a little over $20, you're getting a fantastic figure with 3 accessories, a highly detailed sculpted Spartan with a lot of points of articulation. So this is a great figure, and I can definitely see it, being sought after years down the line. So if you're able to grab it now, I think they are still available on GameStop's website. I think it's a piece that we'll definitely appreciate. Our next figure is Duels and Darth Vader. Now, I love this figure for many reasons. Now, I gotta say, when a movie or a scene or characters make me feel a certain way, which the Kenobi series did, but this scene in particular, when his helmet is cracked, and I'm getting chills just talking about it, but when his helmet is cracked and he's looking up and it's just the look of defeat and rage, and you can hear Hayden's voice, raspy in between that Darth Vader voice as well. Man, that was peak. That was so great. And it builds on that kind of like winter arc, feeling about it. And so having this figure now is incredible. I'm also just a big Darth Vader fan, so his story arc within the comics, Palpatine breaks him down, makes him suffer even more, hinders his abilities. He lost the woman he loves trying to protect her. It's just insane. You gotta feel sorry for the guy. So when they brought Hayden back and you can see the cracked helmet, all of those feelings and emotions were exuded through that acting, through just that little sliver, through the crack of the helmet. And then for them to be able to produce the figure, it's just such a beautiful piece. I could gush about it all day. Anyways, moving on. So from the belt down, this has been used previously. But from the torso up, it looks like everything is new sculpting. So his main mechanism in the front, you can see it's slashed up, it's cracked, it's destroyed. You can see at his cape, it's weathered and tattered and destroyed a little bit. There's even a slash and a cut through the top. They updated his hands and gloves, so they changed the joint from being at the top part of the hand, and they put it, along the side where the thumb and pinky are. And of course, the main feature to this figure is that cracked helmet. It just looks so good. It looks how it does from the show. And, being able to see that peak of Anakin once again, just so cool. The best part to this exposed face is being able to see more expression from this figure. So depending on how you turn the head, you just get different areas, and it's just really well done. I highly recommend you pick this figure up. I'm not quite sure if they are still on the Target app. I don't think so, but I can see this being a figure highly sought after, years down the line. The retail to him was, I believe, $24.99. Overall, Hasbro does a great job with their Star Wars figures. They've come a long way ever since the orange labels, and this one is definitely top tier. I guess we'll keep that Black Series trend going. Next up is Darth Malgus, and this guy is a beast. In real life, he stands close to 7 feet, so he's comparable to Master Chief, if that gives you some sort of perspective. Malgus is another one of those ruthless, intelligent Sith Lords. He's a freaking beast. If you've played KOTOR, then you know what I'm talking about. Those cutscenes are some of the most beautiful gameplay cutscenes I've ever seen. He is definitely part of the higher end of Black Series figures. At that $33 price point, he's basically considered a deluxe figure, but there's a lot to love with him. He has pinless joints. His sculpting is amazing. He's got soft goods. You can take his hood on and off. He's got a fantastic lightsaber, and this thing is huge also. Just to give you some perspective about how big that lightsaber is, here he is holding a normal one. They nailed his face print. These little details there, his eyes look fantastic. Even those little veins coming off the top of his nose going up his forehead, incredible. His respirator also has some great detail, and it is completely molded to the back of his head. You can see it's kind of attached right there, and it can be removed. Even with his respirator off, he still has that intimidating, don't mess with this guy look to his face, and you can see those battle wounds to the left side of his cheek. It looks incredible. Many collectors are calling this the best Black Series figure of 2023, and some are even saying the best Black Series of all time. For those of you that know me, this is probably no surprise, the Spartan Collection Series 7 Halo 3 Master Chief. So this, like Spartan Bellos, is $21.99. It can be found at GameStop stores, or was found at GameStop stores, and these went fast. Everybody went buck wild for this figure, as they should. This is arguably the best Halo game ever made, all the way down from the first trailer, Starry Night, to the gameplay, the campaign, to multiplayer, and now its legacy. This Master Chief stands out for many reasons. The first one being that price point, $21.99, and you're getting a whole lot of figure for $21.99. Like I said earlier, Master Chief is a big boy. He's standing over 7 feet, and they made him a 7-inch figure. He comes with 2 weapons. He has the Magnum, and he can also holster the BR on his back. An added bonus to all Spartan Collection figures, each one comes with 5 additional hands as well. He also has multiple points of articulation. We have double joints at the knees. We have double joints at the elbows. Hinges and swivels where they count. On top of all that, he has that beautiful mirrored visor, which adds so much authenticity to this figure, and it just makes him look legit. This Master Chief has been a godsend to us Halo collectors, and it will be proudly displayed in my collection forever. One quick comparison, since I mentioned that both of these are pretty similar in height, here's Malgus and Chief standing side by side. For this next figure, I'm going to add like an honorable mention or like a companion to it, because as a whole, this line has been crushing it, and it is going to be the Trainer Team Series MEWTWO Articulated Figure. If you're a Pokemon fan, then you know exactly why this figure's on table right now. If you're not, then let me break it down for you. This figure is also $20. So we have the Halo Spartan Collection, $20. We have the new Call of Duty line, $20, and the Pokemon Trainer Team Series, $20. This MEWTWO has a crazy amount of articulation. I mean, you can see all the joints throughout. I can basically pose him in anything that I want. I mean, look at that tail. They created a different element aside from this plastic to make this bendable. It also comes with a multi-articulated stand. MEWTWO has made many appearances throughout the entire 25 plus years of the Pokemon franchise, but they were able to capture his essence perfectly. Prior to this MEWTWO, the only other figure that we had was the SH Figure Arts MEWTWO. While Figure Arts has extreme quality within their figures, this retails for $65+, whereas the Trainer Team Series goes for $20. Both of these are exceptional figures. They have their similarities and differences. I want to take a look at the value that you're getting. So not everybody wants to or can afford a $65+ figure. So having this MEWTWO, which is capable of everything that this SHF MEWTWO can do, at less than half the cost is such a big win. And that's why I will have such a high praise for this figure. Some other important highlights to this MEWTWO, it is perfectly in scale with our 1/12 figures, which is insane. And I'm making such a big deal about articulated Pokemon because before this MEWTWO came out, SH Figure Arts had, I think, maybe 3 figures. They had Mewtwo, Blastoise, and Charizard. But that was it. Prior to that, there has been nothing like this in the 25 plus years of Pokemon. No brand, no company has even come close to making figures like this, especially at a price point that is this good. Which leads me into our guest appearance or honorable mention. We have Suicune and Raikou, 2 legendary beasts, which have also been released this year. Fans of Pokemon know that this is a big deal. To start a highly articulated Pokemon line of figures for the first time ever in over 25 years, and then right out the gate, start with legendary Pokemon. I mean, they've been doing legendaries from the beginning, Series 1, and we're already at Series 6 right now. That's why I have to include these 2 legendary beasts. They are too good, and they're within the same line of MEWTWO, and they should not be overlooked. Also, from a collectability standpoint, these are very popular Pokemon within the franchise, so I can see them appreciating well years down the line. These are Target exclusive figures that can be found right now in store or on the app. The links will be in the description, and if you want to find out more about these figures, I unboxed and reviewed every single one of them, and they're definitely worth the watch. Our next figure I think is no surprise, and that is Darth Malik from Star Wars: The Knights of the Old Republic. Hands down my favorite era of Star Wars, hands down my favorite game from Star Wars. This was released in 2003. I was about 13 years old, and I played these games, KOTOR 1, KOTOR 2, endlessly. I played them light side, dark side. I tried to do everything humanly possible you can do in that game. I tried to find everything. I tried all different dialogues. I have been obsessed with Knights of the Old Republic and anything around it. I even have like a KOTOR shelf over there. His sculpting is great. I mean, he has soft goods. His lightsaber is accurate. His face print and detail is amazing. And his ventilator is removable as well. And check this out. On his back, he even has a spot to holster his lightsaber behind the soft goods. How awesome does that look? Like Malgus, his respirator wraps all the way around his head, but his is a lot easier to remove compared to Malgus. To do so, it's very simple. The right and the left both separate, so you remove it just like so. I mean, he looks so good, I'm convinced he would start speaking right now. That's how much I love this figure. And for those of you that don't know, he's missing his lower jaw because Revan hacked it off. Basically, they were like talking or having a duel within, Revan's ship, and then Malik basically called him soft. And of course, Revan didn't like that and slashed off his lower jaw. Now he's all disfigured. And that's what makes this character so great. Released alongside Malik, Bastila also had her debut as a Black Series figure. She was previously released in the Vintage Collection a while ago. This was a long time ago. She even made it to like a Black Series 375 card with like the orange label on it. She's also a great figure. I'm so happy that they included her alongside Malik. She's not 100% game accurate, but nonetheless, she will always be proudly displayed in the collection. At last, this is something that us KOTOR fans have been wanting to do for a long time, to have these two standing side by side in our Black Series collections. Side note, this is not dust, it's like residue from this like fog can that I use. I was taking some photos of him, I just haven't really cleaned it up all the way. So with all of that, it's a no-doubter that Malik is on this list. I mean, the history, the love, and the passion I've had for Knights of the Old Republic, and to now have him in figure form where he looks so good, it just leaves me wanting more. I mean, I would love to have a TVC Ebon Hawk, the entire crew, in both TVC and Black Series. I mean, do it all. There's a lot of passionate fans out there that would love to have all those figures. All right, we are narrowing it down to our final two figures, and I'm going to give you something a little different that we have not done yet, and that is the Marvel Legends Green Goblin from No Way Home. Like I said, I'm not a huge Marvel Legends collector. There are superheroes that I like, and I'll buy the figures for them, but I'm not a completist. I don't buy every single, DC Marvel character that there is. There's just too many, and I like my favorites, and that's pretty much it. But Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin rendition is so good. I mean, I saw the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire in the theaters. I forgot how old I was, but I remember Carl's Jr. was doing like the whole promotions, and I remember like going to Carl's Jr. before the film, and then we went and saw it, and it was just so great. I something about it just always resonated with me. It's the same thing with like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, in X-Men. He will always be Wolverine. Willem Dafoe will always be Green Goblin to me. As much as I like, Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland as Spider-Man, Tobey will always be my Spider-Man. This is a deluxe figure from Marvel Legends, and you're paying for it. The price is $49. Right now, it is, I think, out of stock everywhere. Amazon, Walmart, Target, GameStop. I think the only place where you can get this right now is a pre-order from Entertainment Earth. I'll put the link in the description below, but this is a very popular figure character, and people have been going nuts about it. He comes with a few accessories, one of which being these like foot pedals that really holds him and makes him secure to the glider. There's some minimal articulation, basically a swivel. It's a pin system where you put it in, and he can kind of like swivel his ankles from side to side. It does come with a stand, which is very helpful. There is 3 ball joints on different corners, and I just used the tallest one to give it the most height. This glider does have some articulation to make it easier for him to pose on there. So we have some like hinge joints right here on both sides. You can like lower this or bring it back up, and then this top part of the glider also opens and closes. The Goblin figure itself is so solid. It's probably one of the best Marvel Legends figures they've ever done. People are speaking highly of it. They love it, and you can see it has that classic Sam Raimi like Goblin head right there. It has an awesome metallic green sheen all throughout. Posability is fantastic. It's everything that you would expect from a Black Series or Marvel Legends figure. It has pinless joints all throughout. Nice and sturdy. Nothing feels loose on this. You're definitely getting your money's worth with this figure. He does come with a single pumpkin bomb, an interchangeable head with that beautiful, iconic William Dafoe face, little goggles, and a hood. I found that the hood stays on more secure when you actually add the goggles to his head, which will remove all that now, so the hood just pops on and off just like so. Same thing with the goggles, it just wraps over his head. I do gotta tip my hat to the Marvel Legends Hasbro team for being able to sculpt and print and capture the true essence and just likeliness of William Dafoe. They really just knocked this one out of the park. Of course, I did pick up the Tobey Spider-Man as well. I haven't opened it because the card is pretty good looking. And I also did pick up that SH Figure Art Spider-Man. So since I have this one opened up, I really don't have any need to open up the other one. Truth be told, this figure could probably be in the top 10 as well. I mean, it's solid and it stacks up really well. That leaves us with one figure remaining, and it is none other than the Hammond Collection Carnotaurus. Man, is this dinosaur figure beautiful. The team at Mattel and Hammond Collection have been crushing it with these dinosaurs. I mean, they're highly articulated, their sculpts are so accurate, and they've been implementing those like glass eyes, which was a little shaky at first with the Tyrannosaurus Rex, but it seems like they're starting to find their groove. They like reissued the T-Rex, and the glass eye looks a lot cleaner, and they even applied those improvements to the Carnotaurus. She retails for $30. You can find her at Target or Amazon, and she is worth every penny, especially if you are a Jurassic fan. This is like a statue quality level of detail that you could pose. Here's a better look at that glass eye. It's one of those types of deals that no matter where you turn it, she's always going to be looking at you. You can see that like black pupil right there, and it's just always following you, which is so cool. Such an awesome idea. They just went for it. They, decided to do something new and different besides just paint, and it's paying off really well. It looks so clean. What's cool too is if you're a toy photographer, you can shine the light within the eye and it gives it a lot of life. So cool. So this is the right side and it's just as clear as the left. The Hammond Collection is doing things that dinosaur fans have wanted for a very long time. Highly detailed, articulated dinosaurs with beautiful paint apps that doesn't break the bank. I mean, when I say highly articulated, we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different joints at just the leg alone. Even at this tail, they added more articulation, so we have double ball joints here, and they did a cool transition from like plastic to like a bendable rubber. So we have a hard plastic here, and at the tip of the tail, this is like a soft rubber pliable piece of material, and there's a metal wire in that, and that will give you more posability, flexing the tip of this tail. Her head and neck has amazing range of motion. I mean, you can look straight down, look upwards. She has a large bite. I mean, look how wide you can get that mouth open. I mean, when she's looking at you head on, this looks real. This looks so good. Like, there's no cartoony paint or anything. I mean, they try to emulate this as close to the film as possible, and they totally nailed it. She's also a pretty long figure, so from tip of the tail to the front of the mouth, it looks like she is about, man, almost 18 inches. All right, everyone, that's going to wrap up the best figures of 2023. I really hope you enjoyed this list. Again, it's my opinion, but my goal was to show you a variety of different figures that were released within this year. What's so great about the community is that everybody has their own top 10 figures. So if you feel like there's something that I may have missed, drop it down in the comment below. I would love to know your top 10 figures of 2023. I did review a good chunk of these figures on my channel, so be sure to check those out. I will provide the links in the description below, as well as shopping links. So if there's something that you want that you may have missed, I'll also put the links in the description. But that's it, everyone. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram to stay up to date when new things drop, like the best figures of 2024. I also post toy photography and toy videos. If you did enjoy this top 10, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and lets me know that y'all are enjoying the content. Until then, I'll see y'all in 2024.